Right, Tuesday night isn't just another cup game. This Arsenal v Chelsea EFL Cup semi-final second leg is one of those fixtures that tells you what a team really is, and not just tactically. I'm talking about mentally and emotionally as well. Because both teams have come into this game off results that change their narratives, and that's what makes this tie a blockbuster. It's really going to be fascinating this tie. So if you follow me closely, let's break it down. I'd like to start with a context. Arsenal arrived off a tough away win at Leeds, a performance that wasn't flashy but was serious. Having dropped point and the title credentials were questioned, and Arsenal responded beautifully at Ellen Road. And it was the kind of result tied to challenges grind out, especially after pressure had started to build. On the other side, if you look at Chelsea, they've come into this game after coming back from 2 goals down to beat West Ham. And whether you like it or not, that result matters. And as a team that didn't fold, they responded quite beautifully. I was surprised myself, and I think they have a serious manager in Liam Rizinha, and Chelsea should be taken seriously. So this semi-final second leg isn't just about reaching the final. It's about momentum. It's about belief. And it's about whether or not Arsenal's tied to credentials and Chelsea's revival actually real. So it's a tough game, no doubt. It's not just going to be one of those games where Arsenal is going to dominate. It's not going to be a case of, Hammond Traore just tossing away Cucurella. No, it wouldn't be like that. So it's going to be a blockbuster, like I'd like to call it. And that's how I see it anyway. And there's so many talking points. We're going to go first and foremost. Let's talk about Saka's injury. Because now, before we even talk about tactics, we have to address the big talking point. It's Bukayo Saka. Right, so Saka picked up an injury during the warm-up against Leeds, which immediately raised alarm bells. And let's be honest, any Arsenal fan hearing Saka injury immediately feels uneasy. Do you know what I mean? I felt uneasy myself. I thought, why? We need him now, and why would he get injured at this crucial time? And we've had, spells of injury in recent past as well that we're really lucky. We haven't really been lucky. We haven't all our, players available for 80% of the season, I'd say at least. But, so Saka's injury is one that raises concern. That's a really cause for an alarm. But why do we feel that way? Because Saka isn't just a winger, Saka is basically our security blanket in possessions and transition outlet, a most reliable big game performer. If you look at Saka game in game out, he's been putting in incredible performances. Maybe he hasn't scored, no doubt about that, but we can't obliterate his performances and his effect in making sure the spaces were created when he had played, and he was always a thorn on the flesh of defenders and all of that, and it would definitely be missed. And in the title running, losing that level of consistency matters. So yes, if Saka misses the tie, I'm hearing Arteta saying that we're not certain what the outcome of the check, the physio's check or the doctor's check would be like. So we don't know the extent of his injury, whether or not it will be available almost immediately. But if Saka is missed in this tie, there's no point pretending otherwise. If he's not there, we would miss him. But I like the fact that we've got a robust squad, and that's where Madueke comes in. It's very brilliant that we have that squad depth, because now we need it. Now I understand what it means that to win a title you need You need your squad depth, and to do very well in other competitions as well, you need that robust squad, and that's the reason why I'm quite glad that we've got Madueke. And Madueke is an amazing player, of course, a different kind of profile to Saka, but he offers what is necessary for us to go ahead and win a game, you know what I mean? So Arsenal are no longer a one-man system, because stepping in is Noni Madueke, and while it's a very different profile to Saka, like I said, that doesn't make him a downgrade. It makes him a different weapon to you know what I mean, to wield against Chelsea. You know, Madueke gives you more direct running, he's quicker, you know, in vertical attacks, you know what I mean? He has more 1v1 aggression. You know, I know where Saka gives you a bit of control and rhythm, Madueke gives you big chaos, and that is not something good for the opponent. You know, when you have a winger that always causes you drama, you don't know what to do, you don't know what he's thinking. I do wish that his end product become better though, you know what I mean? I think that is something that Mikel Arteta can coach out of him. So Madueke is not a downgrade to Saka. I think it's just another brilliant weapon that we could use, you know what I mean, to cause Chelsea all kinds of problems. I still believe that you know, we are good, we're in good hands, we can do well with him. He may not be able to slow the game down like Saka, but he forces defenders to retreat. He stretches the pitch. He makes defenders defend facing their own goal. So, you know what I mean? Of course, that's not to say that Saka will not be missed, but I'm saying here that I think with another weapon in Madueke, we will look good. We will look decent at least. I'm quite confident in his ability to cause Chelsea's defence all kinds of problems. And you know, that I'm sure of that. So, you know, Saka will be missed, but Madueke is quite good. Yeah, but the biggest of the talking point will be the midfield, where games are won, really. You know, I mean, both of us have got this ability to, you know, cause all kinds of problems from the midfield. You know, Chelsea are a very physical side. Arsenal, we are a bit more fluid, you know what I mean, the midfield with the passing game and the movement. So, the battleground will be the midfield, you know what I mean? So let's talk about that, because regardless of who starts on the wing, the game will be won or lost centrally. So Arsenal's recent improvement hasn't just been about results, it's been about midfield fluidity, the ability to rotate, to control tempo. You see what to suffocate teams without forcing the issue. You see what Odegaard does when it comes on. It's been able to, you know, offer some control, ability to control the tempo, maintain the tempo, and you know what I mean, when he had spaces, he will pull the ball free. That will cause the opponent all kinds of trouble. So we have Zubimendi is also very good with controlling the game. Declan Rice, like the horse, man, is dry. It usually maybe like makes me think he's got like a horsepower in him that he uses, and there's another player that can really, you know, give Chelsea a great battle in the midfield, because you know what I mean, he can run, he talks with fly in, he can hold the ball or the play. His set pieces are amazing, dangerous, can cause all kinds of problems for Chelsea as well. But Chelsea on the other hand are very physical. You know, I've been talking about how fluid we are in the midfield, but Chelsea, they've got the energy level in that midfield is very high, with Caicedo, Enzo Fernandez, and you know what I mean. So whoever settles down first, I think we control that game. You know what I mean? So, you know, we're looking at the situation where is the match going to be controlled, or will it become very chaotic? Because if Arsenal control the midfield rhythm, they control the tie. If Chelsea turns this into a transition-heavy battle, it swings their way, you know what I mean? So this game will be won in the midfield, you know what I mean? I've spoken about Saka and how we like to play from the wings, but undoubtedly this game is going to be a serious battle in the midfield, and whoever grabs hold of the game first will control the game. Would it be the Arsenal's fluidity, or would it be the Chelsea's chaotic approach to the game? So that remains to be seen, but it's going to be an uphill battle for both teams. I know one confidence that we've got is we're on a good run of form at the moment, coming away beating Leeds, also with a clean sheet, and we're playing at the Emirates this time around. So we're gonna be a bit confident going into that game. Of course, Saka will be missed, but Madueke is a good deputy, so we will look as dangerous as we would have looked if we had Saka. The semi-finals matter so much, I mean, if Arsenal win this tie, it's not just a cup final secured. It's a confirmation that they can handle pressure, rotate key players, and still deliver. That's the title challenger's behaviour. I think maybe the pundits, we should be of respect. I mean, listening to Paul Scholes saying the other day that if Arsenal won the title, they would be in the worst title winners in the Premier League history, and that's bollocks. I mean, that is something retarded to say, to be honest with you, and I do not feel any remorse saying that to him, because I thought that line of thought is a bit, unnecessary, and just breathe hate. That's the only way I can put it. But if Chelsea wins this tie, it's a statement. They're sending a message that they are no longer fragile, no longer rebuilding quietly. They're ready to compete again. So either way, the consequences stretch far beyond really the EFL Cup. So I'll leave you with this: is control more important than chaos in big games? Should Saka be risked or protected? We don't know what the injury news would be like. If Saka's fairly okay, would you rather have a half-baked Saka than a full-blown Madueke? For me, I'd say that if Saka is not fully fit, might not be very useful for us anyway. I don't see any reason why he can't come on as the game progresses, but I say if he's not fully match fit, Madueke is a good start. I know that he can cause all kinds of problems for Chelsea, and so let me know your thoughts in the comments. I want real debates, no agendas, just real debates. If you enjoy calm tactical football, and let's spark the debates. Do you think we have enough to win it? You've seen both teams performed over the weekend. Do you think both of them are ready? And of course, what are your thoughts? Chelsea looked very serious on Saturday playing against West Ham, So share your thoughts with us in the comments section, and let's spark a debate about this game. I hope we'll win. I want us to win the game, well, of course, I'm going to leave you now. If you enjoy tactical football analysis and real fan perspective, make sure you subscribe. Post-match reactions and breakdowns coming straight after the game. This one is going to tell us a lot. Until next time, take care. Bye.